Hi everyone, Angela here. Whether you have a standard 9 by 13 inch, a larger deep dish, an 8 by 11 inch or smaller, this quilted casserole carrier will work with just about any size. Print out all the pattern pieces and then check them with the 1-inch square. Links for this pattern and the tools I use can be found down in the description below. Cut out the pattern pieces and also cut out the small notches. Join pieces A to F together, then G and H, and then pieces I to P together. You should have 2 notches on each side and also at one end. For the top and bottom of the base, I'm using 100% quilting cotton. Cut out 2 pieces along the lengthwise or the crosswise grain. It doesn't matter which direction you cut out your fabric, as it's going to be quilted. I'm using my Kai embroidery scissors to cut out the notches. Using the same base pattern, you'll need to cut out one piece out of cotton batting and another piece out of Insul-Bright. For the ties, I'm also using quilting cotton, cut out 4 pieces. For the tie ends, cut 2 out of Insul-Bright and 2 out of cotton batting. For each tie, sandwich 2 pieces of fabric with right sides together between an Insul-Bright and a cotton batting end. Match all the edges and clip the sides. I'm using a Brother NV50S sewing machine. The link for this and the tools I use are in the description below. Make sure to use coupon code NOTCHES NV50S for the special offer. Using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, stitch the sides, back tacking at the start and finish, and pivoting at the top corner. If you're finding this video helpful, make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and leave a comment below. Carefully trim the corners, being careful not to cut too close to the stitching. Turn the ties right side out and use something pointy like a knitting needle to push out the point and the sides. Make sure everything is laying flat at the bottom, then adjust the sides so that the seam is right in the center and press all around. Next, we need to mark 3 quilting lines. You can use a Hera marker to do this. The sharp edge will give you a nice crease on the fabric. I'll use a vanishing ink pen so it's easier to see. Mark the first line 2 inches up from the edge, and then mark 2 more lines 1.5 inches apart. The top line should be below the edge of the batting. Clip the bottom edges if you need to. I'm increasing the stitch length to 3.5. First, stitch close to the edge to hold all the layers together. For the quilt lines, start and stop your stitching a little bit in from the edges, back tacking at the start and finish. Next, fold the ties in half lengthwise, matching the side edges. On the side, make a mark 7 inches from the point. From there, make a mark 5 inches across. Then clip together about 1 inch on either side of those marks. Edge stitch the layers together about 1/8 inch from the edge, back tacking at the start and finish. Turn the ties over so that this seam is on the inside. For the base, place the wrong side of the fabric on top of the batting, matching the short edges with the notches. Then clip together about 1 inch on either side of the notches. Repeat with the Insul-Bright. Sew these edges together just before and past these notches. Sew 3/8 inch from the edge, and there's no need to back tack. With right sides together, center the ties between the notches on the longer sides. and fold the ends of the ties away from the edges. Again, with right sides together, match the short ends with the notches together. Clip at the notches, and this is where we'll leave an opening. Match the rest of the edges and clip all around. Starting at the notch, stitch with a 1/2-inch seam allowance so that it's just a little wider than the holding stitch. Back tack at the start and finish and pivot around the corners. This is a little easier with a walking foot, but if you don't have one, just go nice and slow, especially over the section with the ties. Finish stitching at the other notch and then carefully trim all the corners. Turn the carrier right side out and poke out the corners. Flip the carrier over to the outer side so that the seams of the ties are on the bottom. Fold in the seam allowance of the opening and clip in place. Fold the base in half to find the centers and mark on both sides. Draw a line down the center and then on either side draw 3 more lines 4 inches apart. Stitch each end 1/8 of an inch from the edge and all of the quilt lines back tacking at the start and finish. Cut 2 sets of 1-inch wide Velcro or hook and loop tape 3 inches long. Have the underside of the carrier and the seams of the tie facing up. Measure in 1.5 inches from the side and 1/2 inch up from the bottom. From there, draw a 1-inch line across towards the center. Then draw a 3-inch line 1.5 inches in from the edge to that first point. Repeat in reverse on the other side. Place the outer edges of the hook side of the tape along those marks and pin in place. Now bring the other end over to the top side. This time measure 3 inches up from the bottom and 1.5 inches in from the side. Again, draw a 1-inch line across, a 3-inch line down, and then repeat in reverse on the other side. Place the softer loop sides on these marks. Adjust the stitch length back to 2.5 and then stitch each piece close to the edge, back tacking at the start and finish. Let me know down in the comments if you've made any type of casserole carrier or bowl cozies. This would make a really lovely housewarming gift or just a nice way to take your dish over to a potluck or picnic. I'm going to try and make Patti LaBelle's over-the-top mac and cheese recipe. I'll leave a link to her video down in the description below. Make sure to check out some of my other videos. Thanks again for watching. Take care and happy sewing.